Word out of the Crawford camp was that their man Steam, that could be a red herring, because as you say, Jim, you look at
There was a lot of drama outside a Miami club last night when Terence Crawford and David Davis got into a heated argument. Things quickly escalated to punches being thrown, insults flying, and people's jobs being put at risk. The whole situation started when Davis crossed a line by saying some pretty nasty things about Crawford and his family. To make matters worse, Davis also mocked Crawford for attempting to set up a fight with Canelo Alvarez. This fight between Crawford and Davis has been building up for months, but no one expected it to go down in such a shocking way. Let's dive into the details of what happened. Let's set the scene. It was just another wild night in Miami, with celebrities and athletes filling the trendiest club in the city. Among the VIPs were Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis, both hoping to unwind after their recent fights. At first, the two boxing stars were in separate parts of the club, but as the night went on, their paths crossed, and things quickly took a turn. Eyewitnesses say the situation went south when Davis walked up to Crawford, clearly upset. What began as some casual conversation quickly escalated into something much worse when Davis started insulting Crawford's family. The tension hit another level when Davis made fun of Crawford's loved ones right there in front of everyone.
Jim, you look at his card, you look at his
early rounds, his brother.
Crawford, who is usually known for staying calm in tense situations, initially tried to let it go. But things took a sharp turn when Davis began shouting about Crawford's plans to fight Canelo Alvarez. Davis laughed at Crawford and said, "Canelo doesn't even care about you, man. You're just chasing that fight for the payday."
Heard of a fight with you and Terence Crawford? It would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turki Alalshikh know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Very nice.
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp. Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March.
In an instant, that was the breaking point for Crawford. He snapped and charged at Davis, throwing a punch that completely took everyone by surprise. Security quickly rushed in to break things up, but by then the situation had already spiraled out of control. The club was in chaos, people were yelling, cameras were flashing, and it was pure madness. It was a moment that will definitely be remembered, though not for any good reasons.
throw it. Crawford saw him coming. Moment.
If you've been following the world of boxing, you know this clash didn't come out of nowhere. The tension between Crawford and Davis has been building up for months, fueled by a string of back-and-forth shots on social media. It all began when Crawford took a jab at Davis for not being invited to the exclusive Ring Awards event in London. That comment didn't sit well with Davis. As expected, Davis didn't hold back and fired back, accusing Crawford of chasing paychecks instead of striving for true greatness, especially after Crawford's controversial decision to challenge Canelo Alvarez.
Why are you retiring?
What changed? What made this trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Madam.
Gervonta, something should have happened at this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done to boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You think you might be gaining love for it, though? You never know. Like, like say you got to walk today.
Points coming off.
The referee letting both fighters know that
Right hand.
The insults kept flying back and forth, each one more hurtful than the last. This rivalry between Crawford and Davis has been making headlines for a while, but no one expected it to escalate into physical violence. Until now.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we
the switch here.
Now let's get into the whole Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez situation that Davis used to mock Crawford. Crawford's decision to move up to 168 pounds and challenge Canelo for his unified super middleweight titles has sparked mixed opinions.
Tonight, Terence Crawford was with Turki Alalshikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
no comments.
On one hand, some people see it as a bold move, a chance for Crawford to solidify his legacy by taking on one of the biggest names in the sport. On the other hand, critics argue that Crawford is simply after a big payday with little real chance of beating Canelo.
You say, I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes, man, touchdown.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Magno.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as a stepping stone. It's about now.
Didn't land anything of any real meaning in that third round, and Crawford.
Davis didn't hold back on this one. He mocked Crawford for thinking Canelo even cares about him or the fight. He pointed out that Canelo has much bigger things to focus on, adding that Canelo probably doesn't even know Crawford exists. Davis then said, You're out here begging for a fight like it's your retirement plan.
Brawl has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think it takes to Ceston, man?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Could he get it in the future?
Too little.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
See, okay. What about everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jamel. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight or?
What, 168? I ain't going up there.
Right.
So you got Canelo winning then, right? And then
He fighting at 168.
The reality is, many people see the Crawford vs. Canelo fights as more of a circus match, put together for entertainment rather than for real sporting value.
Good friend, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring. I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out.
Catch the eye a little bit more. So Burns shows game.
Boxing experts and analysts believe that Crawford should have to earn his chance to fight Canelo by going through the top contenders at 168 pounds instead of being handed a direct shot at him. Davis's taunt struck a nerve with Crawford, and that's what finally pushed him over the edge.
You, though, is that career defining? Is this a legacy fight for you?
Well, when I got shot, for me to change my life the way that I did and stop hanging out with the guys that I hung out with, my career started going up. And yes, this is a legacy fight for me. This is a mega fight. This is a superstar fight. This is all those in one. With me and Errol Spence Jr. A lot of people, they writing me off because they say, oh, well, he's too small, or he haven't fought nobody like Errol Spence, or his resume is this, or his resume that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say, but on July 29th, all the answers to everybody's questions will be answered.
It is tough to tag cleanly, Crawford, being very circumspect in this.
Fans went wild when the news of the Crawford-Davis fight broke. Social media lit up like a Christmas tree with terms like Shark Club, Chaos, and Crawford vs. Davis trending everywhere. Many fans are siding with Crawford, saying that Gervonta Davis went too far by dragging his family into the feud. On the other hand, some believe it's just classic Tank Davis stirring things up to stay relevant in the spotlight as he approaches retirement. Let's face it, Gervonta isn't throwing punches just for fun. He's building hype, and it's definitely working.
What changed? What made this shit trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You might be gaining love for it, though. You never know. But like I said, you got to walk today.
But here's the twist: Gervonta isn't stopping with Crawford. Rumor has it that he's in talks for a massive rematch with Ryan Garcia. We're talking about a jaw-dropping $150 million deal backed by none other than celebrity promoter Floyd Mayweather, the same guy who's been behind some of boxing's biggest events.
Hopefully I fight Ryan again. If they're not on some host, I'll tax that ass again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, can that stop it, knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them send that bag and I'm coming. And I'm,
That was one of the fast and going to be faster than Burns. Nice shot again. from Burns, a right hand.
Turki's involvement isn't just about the money, it's about bringing that big show energy to every fight he's involved in. He's the mastermind behind these crossover bouts and super fights, and he's been playing a key role in both Crawford's and Davis's recent moves.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing, Fight Hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean,
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Fans are buzzing about how Turkey's influence is changing the sport, making every fight feel like a major event. Whether it's Crawford trying to line up a fight with Canelo or Davis heating up his rivalries, it's all part of a bigger plan to dominate the headlines and keep fans glued to their screens. With Davis looking to go out with a bang, we can definitely expect some serious fireworks before he hangs up the gloves.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later. And he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we'll see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
there's always some little end product. No end product there from Burns, as Crawford was too slick biting his.
So what does all this mean for Crawford and Davis moving forward? For Crawford, this incident could have serious consequences. He has a major fight with Canelo lined up, and this kind of off-ring drama is the last thing he needs. Promoters and sponsors won't be happy to see their fighter making headlines for street brawls. This situation could even risk the fight with Canelo entirely.
Well, I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Kevin Mitchell, he had a wonderful week down in Essex at the Tony Sims gym. Mates he's worked with.
On the other hand, Davis has been hinting at retirement for some time now, and this incident may push him even closer to hanging up his gloves. He has one final fight scheduled against Leon Roach at the Barclays Center, and there are talks of a potential blockbuster match with Ryan Garcia heating up. However, this brawl could cast a shadow over what could be the final chapter of his career.
They talking, they talking, they talking, but you know I get, you know I gonna 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 get. I'm a real machine. You know I'm gonna get a real one. And I promise you, now I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother. Yeah, now watch this. They gonna now watch. They gonna be now there. Watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago?
You know how when they told you see how like I posed for Lomachenko, right? Mm-hmm. And like how he said like he was retiring, things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what. Is that all it takes for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment? Nah, but that's what I want though. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
It always go like this. It always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you going out. I don't want you to feel like you going out.
Both fighters could face fines or suspensions from boxing commissions, and the court of public opinion is already weighing in heavily. It's a messy situation, and the consequences for both men could be serious.
Saying that he wants you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out?
When you look at all the great fighters that was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes, so it's nothing, that I'm not surprised about.
A tank would be something that, he said he'll touch your chin and...
Man, everybody say, what they'll do, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 to face me no time.
It is tough to tag cleanly, Crawford.
With all the drama unfolding, the big question now is, could this lead to a legal fight between Crawford and Davis? While the weight difference between them is significant, stranger things have happened in boxing. Crawford is a welterweight moving up to super middleweight, while Davis has dominated the lightweight division. But with Davis teasing retirement, anything is possible.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him to come and touch it.
Wow. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You gonna have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
Imagine the buzz if these two decided to settle their beef in the ring. It would be one of the most talked about fights in recent history, with fans glued to their screens. While there are some logistical challenges in making this fight happen, the desire to see it is definitely there. So, what happens next? Will Crawford and Davis face consequences for their actions? Could this argument lead to an actual fight between them? And how will all of this affect their careers and legacies moving forward? There are still a lot of unanswered questions, and the boxing world is waiting for more updates. One thing's for sure, this story isn't over yet. Whether it's in the ring or on the streets, Crawford and Davis have unfinished business. We'll be keeping a close eye on what happens next, so stay tuned for all the latest news. What do you think about this crazy situation? Are you Team Crawford or Team Davis? Do you think this beef will lead to a legal fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, follow, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest boxing news. I'll catch you in the next one.